Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ma'am. My name is Renneth L. Obag, and I will be presenting to you sedimentation. What is sedimentation? Sedimentation is a process in which solid particles such as rock, sand, and or sediment accumulate at the bottom of water bodies like rivers, lakes, or oceans over time. Sedimentation is the deposition of sediments which results in the formation of sedimentary rock. The term is broadly applied to the entire range of processes that result the formation of sedimentary rock from initial erosion through sediment transport and settling to the electrification of sediment. Sedimentation may pertain to objects of various sizes, ranging from large rocks in flowing water, to suspension of dust and pollen particles, to cellular suspension, to solution of single molecules such as proteins and peptides. Even small molecules supply a sufficient strong force to introduce significant sedimentation. So, ang sedimentation is a process kanang mag-transport siyang particles. Then over time, katong nga particles build up to siya, tapos mas bugahit to, then form siya og bagong rocks or lands. Aggradation or alluviation is a term used in geology for the increase in land elevation, typically in a river system due to the deposition of sediment. Aggradation occurs in areas in which the supply of sediments is greater than the amount of material that the system is able to transport. An example of aggradation can be seen in the Grand Canyon, a large canyon located in Arizona, United States. The Grand Canyon was formed by the Colorado River, which has been cutting through the Arizona and Colorado Plateau for over 6 million years. The river has deposited layers of sediments over time, causing the riverbed to rise and narrowing the river channel. This process has created a highly diverse ecosystem with a variety of plants and animals that have adapted to the harsh environment of the canyon. The process of aggradation is still ongoing in the Grand Canyon, and the river continues to deposit sediments, gradually narrowing the river channel. Deposition. Deposition is the geological process in which sediments, soil, and rocks are added to a landform or landmass. Wind, ice, water, and gravity transport previously weathered surface material, which, at a loss of enough kinetic energy in fluid, is deposited, building up layers of sediment. Deposition can also refer to the buildup of sediments from organically derived matter or chemical process. Types of sedimentation. Fluvial sedimentation. Fluvial sedimentation occurs when sediment is transported and deposited by rivers. It is one of the most common types of sedimentation and is responsible for the formation of many sedimentary environments such as alluvial plains, deltas, and river deltas. Second, marine sedimentation. Marine sedimentation occurs when sediment is transported and deposited by the ocean. It is responsible for the formation of many sedimentary environments such as the limestone shelves and coastal environments. Third, Aeolian sedimentation. Aeolian sedimentation occurs when sediment is transported and deposited by wind. It is responsible for the formation of many desert environments such as sand dunes and dunes. 4. Glacial sedimentation. Glacial sedimentation occurs when sediment is deposited by glaciers. It is responsible for the formation of many sedimentary environments such as more rains and till. And lastly, organic sedimentation. Organic sedimentation occurs when organic matter is deposited as sediment. It is responsible for the formation of many sedimentary environments such as coal beds and shales. Types of sedimentation process. Type 1. Dilutes, non-flocculent, and free-settling air particles settles independently. Type 2. Dilute, flocculent. Particles can be floated as they settle. Type 3. Concentrated suspensions, zone settling and hindered settling, sludge thickening. Sedimentary basins. Sedimentary basins are created by the formation of Earth's lithosphere in diverse geological settings, usually as a result of plate tectonic activity. Sedimentary basins are also important from a purely scientific perspective because their sedimentary field provides record of Earth's history during the time in which the basin was actively receiving sediment. Classification of sedimentary basins. Plate tectonic setting. The proximity of a divergent, convergent, or transform plate tectonic boundary and the type and origin of the tectonically induced forces that cause a basin to form, especially those active at the time of active sedimentation in the basin. Nature of underlying crust. Basins formed on continental crust are quite different from those formed on oceanic crust, as the two types of lithosphere have very different mechanical characteristics, rheology, and different densities, which means they respond differently to isotopy. Geodynamics of basin formation. The mechanical and thermal forces that cause lithosphere to subside to form a basin. Petroleum or economic potential. Basin characteristics that influence the likelihood for the basin to have an accumulation of petroleum or the manner in which it formed. Deep sea sediments. The ocean basin floor is everywhere covered by sediments of different types and origins. Deep sea drilling has retrieved core samples from the entire sediment layer in several hundred locations in the ocean basins. Seismic reflection method. Used to map the thickness of sediments in many parts of the oceans. Besides thickness, seismic reflection data can often reveal sediment type and the process of sedimentation. Sediment types. Trigenous sediment. Deep sea sediments are transported to the ocean by rivers and wind from land sources. Trigenous sediments that reach the continental shelf are often stored in submarine canyons on the continental slope. Pelagic sediments. Pelagic sediments, either terrestrial or biogenic, are those that are deposited very slowly in the open ocean, either by settling through the volume of oceanic water by precipitation. That's all, thank you. Once again, I am Renneth L. Obag, a presenter of sedimentation.